In this case, we have one project. It's ABC Insurance Company, but we could just as well have any number of projects, and changing from one project to the next is as simple as just clicking on the one you want to look at. For each project, there's identified states involved. In this case, for this project, it's entirely within New York State. And then within New York State, we have a list of all the counties. Okay. And here, we would have the specialties involved. So right now, we're going to look at federally qualified health centers. We could, in this box is where we indicate which specialties are involved in the project. To the right is a few columns as well, which we'll go into. Email, which if there was an email address associated with the provider, it would be a link here, and you click that, and it opens up an email window with the to address already preloaded. And then the update button to update the provider data itself. Not each contact, but the actual raw provider data. For example, if I click here, we get this window, and it shows all the provider data that we had loaded in for this provider. Okay, let's look at how we would add a new provider. I'm going to move this back over here. In the menu, we click Add Provider. We get a similar screen, and as you can see outlined in red are the required fields, the name of the provider, in this case a specialty. By the way, this specialty field includes all the specialties that are available to the user, not just those targeted by the project itself. So sometimes you need the flexibility to add a provider in of a type that is not identified as a key type for the project, and this allows you to do that. But in any case, it will always float the selected specialties that we're looking for to the top of the list, so they're always very easy to find. Okay. The phone number, of course, you need some way of contacting the provider. And that's pretty much it. Oh, and the counties. Now, as you'll see that it defaults to New York, Albany, because here, Albany, and see it says New York counties, because we're in the New York, Albany screen. We can add counties simply by double-clicking here. And let's say we want to add Columbia County. And you say Done. Or we can remove Columbia County by double-clicking again and just clicking in Columbia, it goes away. And when you add multiple counties, of course, it'll show up in each of these screens, and you don't have to duplicate all this data, because the provider data will be the same wherever they show up. But you'll want to see them appear in the county of interest. Also, not required, but you could put the NPI number in there. For example, let's put in 15685268553, and we can double check that by double clicking it. See, it says double click to verify. And it's looking up the NPI information, and lo and behold, it shows the Whitney Young Junior Health Center from the NPI database. Type is organization. Of course, it could be one of two types, either the organization, which in this case is appropriate, but if it said individual, then there'd be a problem. An individual is really reserved for like Dr. Smith or Dr. Miller, MD, as opposed to an organization, which is a hospital, a provider group, a federally qualified health center, a medical group, that kind of thing. Okay, so that could be helpful. All right, going from left to right, we have a prospect in here, this provider. When you put your mouse over the provider name, you'll get a pop-up with the information from the provider screen, which includes the contact information, which is very handy. Also notice at the bottom of the pop-up screen, it says, click this name to upload a PDF file. So you can do that and navigate and upload the file. We've done that, and that's because you see this image link. If I click the image link, it'll give you a list of all the providers of all the files you've uploaded for this provider, ranked out vertically, and then you would just click on the link you want, like this, for example, and that shows the PDF file. Over here, log, this is where we log a contact. So we put in the contact date, some notes. This is a test. Please delete me when done. You can also put in a tickle, which means a reminder. This is optional. You don't have to have one, but let's put one in. Today is the 1st. Let's give it about a week. Let's check in with this provider this coming Friday. Follow up with provider. That's the reminder message. You want to click submit. You'll notice all of a sudden you have over here a last contact where you put your mouse over it. And let's move over here. You can see it duplicates what we just typed in. And if you put your mouse over tickle, 96, it shows you the tickle. It also says at the bottom of the tickle pop-up, click this date to remove it. So remember, I wanted to delete all this stuff. So to delete this tickle, I just click on it, on the date, and there it's gone. And recall I said I wanted to delete this contact when we're all done. So I click history, and it shows all the different contact information I've made to date. And here it says, this is a test. Please delete me when done. So let's do that. I click select. And all I have to do to delete, delete, space, delete. Well, space is optional. Just delete, delete. Click update. And now it's gone. I click. See, it's gone. Okay. So we know how quickly to go from county to county. Let's go back to Albany. How to look at a history. There's our history of all the contacts. If you want to adjust it, modify one, you just click select. You add a new contact by clicking log. You can see the contact information by putting your mouse over the provider's name. You can upload a file associated with this provider by clicking on the provider name. And here's status. This is just a way that you can tag this provider in one of several categories. Leave it blank, cool, warm, hot. If they declined to participate, a reason why. Low fees, they don't like the contract text, they don't like the reputation of the company, whatever. And we can add to that easily enough if we really wanted to. Or if the contract came in, you will put the date the contract was received here. And I'm going to do that here. Well, first let's make them warm. Now you see the provider's warm. And let's say now I received the provider contract. I put in 09, 03, 2013, and all of a sudden, K received. K stands for contract. If you put your mouse over it, it says the name of the provider, contract received, and the date you put in there. Okay, and now because we have a contract received, this indicates one. We have one contract received on the view from this area. And finally, if we wanted to not view our information just online, but we wanted to, for example, summarize this information into a spreadsheet and share that, we can put our mouse on menu, click status update, and it's just going to pull out those ones where I received a contract. I click OK. And here we go. This is a spreadsheet. Notice at the bottom, it lists for the project each county, and within the county by specialty type, and there could be multiple specialty types, it's organized that way, and then the name of the provider, the status, provider details, and the summary, actually a reprint of all the contacts we've made to date. Okay, that could be helpful to have this spreadsheet. And it's really just this simple, my friend. Nothing added, really no learning curve, and highly useful.